Hey guys, guess who saw the FNAF movie? It was me. I saw it today. And by today, I mean October 27th, which is when a movie came out, but you know. Also, again, sorry if the audio is kind of weird for this video. It might be kind of all over the place. Just don't worry about it. Sorry though. Full disclosure, I'm going to go into full spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, please do so. It's available to see in theaters, and you can also view it on Peacock. So again, if you really don't want to hear any spoilers, now's the time to leave. You can come back once you've seen the movie. Are you gone? Okay, good. Let's get into it. So to be completely honest, I feel like I'm still kind of processing the movie. I saw it like a few hours ago at this point, and I still haven't processed that I've seen the FNAF movie. You know what I mean? Like, I've waited 8.5 years for this thing. How was it out? How did I see it? It doesn't make any sense in my brain still. But let me just say, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm gonna try and go through somewhat chronologically. Probably not. We'll just see what happens. I actually do want to start off by saying that there were a lot of people in my theater, by the way. It was an electric experience. It was very comparable to seeing Infinity War or Endgame in theaters, honestly. There were like 2 annoying people in the crowd, but other than that, it was an amazing experience. I can't even explain how much having an actual theater audience made it so much better of an experience. Anyway, so the movie starts off with...
Hey! I saw the movie as well.
Oh, that's right, you did see it with me. Hey everyone, this is my cousin joining me for this video. Hooray! Just to give a little bit of fair warning, the rest of this video will be very podcast-like. So if you're not into that, leave. I mean, it'd be cool if you stayed around. I think we have some cool opinions on this movie. So yeah, what do you think about it?
Truly, how I felt about it, I was telling you this. How I felt was, I mean, the acting was like the number one thing that like got to me the most. Like, so a lot of it, yeah, it was good, but at the same time, there were some lines, some parts where it was just like, I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, you bring up the like Vanessa line. I will shoot you if you bring green.
That line was hilarious to me. That line was so funny.
It was kind of weird. I was like, oh, okay. I kind of took it a different way than you did, I guess, because you were like, that's stupid. I was like, wow, she's really serious about this.
No, I was laughing. In my head, I was laughing. It was a stupid line. Like, you're going to shoot him instead of, like, arrest him? Or, like, because what was she, an officer or a cop?
Yeah, she was a cop.
Yeah, she was a cop. She could have just arrested him. You know, shoot him.
Yeah, that's true.
If you take this girl, I'm going to shoot you. Like, chill.
I mean...
Chill.
Yeah, I guess. But I guess it's more impactful to say, I'm gonna shoot you and kill you.
I guess, but, like, it was just so, like, you know?
I'm gonna f*** you up.
It was... it was just so, like, quick with it. I don't know. I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but...
A weird line.
For the most part, all the acting and stuff, I thought it was pretty good. I think they all did a good job. I thought it was... Okay, this is... not really related to acting, but the aunt character, what was her name? Aunt Jan? It's one of those?
Yeah.
Whatever, the aunt character, she was not in any of the trailers, by the way.
I know.
So, I thought she would be helping William. I guess it's fine she didn't have to. But, I mean, it was interesting that they went for more of, like a non-traditional antagonist or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone's like, I just want to take this girl away from you because screw you. It's like it's like the Santa Claus, you know, where it's like the divorce and they're like fighting over the kid.
I know.
I don't know why that's what it reminded me of.
I don't know, like, but yeah, that and like in general too, like the story, where like a lot of the character bits, it felt like, I don't know, it felt weird. Like I do not know how to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I like what the message was, where it's like, you have to let go of the past and just focus on what you have now. I think they probably could have executed it better, because we don't have a whole lot of scenes of Mike and Abby, like, bonding. We have, like, that one scene where he puts her to bed or whatever. It's like, good night.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more scenes with them, like, being, you know, where he's, like, more protective of her. Like, scenes like that, where he puts her to bed.
Yeah, or, yeah. And also, too, like, William Afton, Purple Man.
Yes.
Like, I feel like he should have had more, because he legit only had, like, 2 scenes.
Yeah, I mean, he had more scenes as, like, I think 3 total. Like, 1 as full-on Spring Bonnie, William Afton, and 2 as Steve Raglan, whatever.
Yeah, but they weren't, like, that long.
No, and that's, I mean... I guess that's like part of the mystery, because if you don't know anything about this series, and it's like, oh, okay, it's just like kind of a huge twist out of nowhere that this random guy from the very beginning comes back around, which is kind of cool. But I feel like Spring Break should have been around for longer, and maybe should have been built up to more, as in like William Afton himself. Spring Break is kind of built up to as just like this entity.
Yeah, more hinted and like more, I don't know, more foreshadowed, I guess. No,
Yeah.
I mean, they do.
I mean, they
show him a
talk
lot.
about him.
Yeah. But as a character, like, as just him, no. Not that much.
Okay, so we have seen a few reviews for this movie already. Just a few. I don't know who it was. Someone said that they didn't really like they showed the murders of the kids through the pixel art in the beginning. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was an interesting choice. Maybe they could have shown some of it in live action. Maybe at least like just taking them off screen. I guess that's what the pixel art was. But I mean, I know why they did pixel art, because it's cool and it's like, you know, it's retro and that's what the series is, and also they do the 8-bit stuff in the games anyways.
Yeah. But also, like, it probably could have been a lot more impactful if we just saw like a little live action thing. Like in the opening, instead of having the pixels, they could have had like you said, like them.
Maybe it could. Yeah, maybe it could have just like started off in live action, like just like them at the party, and then we just see him in the corner or something, and then it goes into the pixel art as to what, like, how he takes them off one by one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like at least show it slightly. Like in the opening, we have you can have the music, you can have the titles and the names, but you just show it off, and then you cut to the pixels.
Yeah,
like you said.
I think that maybe it would have worked better.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad.
No,
it really wasn't. It was neat. It was cool.
Yeah,
seeing that in like an open, just at all. Seeing that at all was.
It was cool.
Yeah,
it was weird to see Scott Cawthon's name.
His name showed up like a couple times, and it was.
Yeah, just like in the credits. I hope he's somewhere in the movie. You have to just spot him out. He's like a cryptid.
Maybe.
He's in the background, just Bigfoot stuff.
Well, I don't know. Who knows if he would even want to appear like that.
I mean, he's like shown himself, I think, right? And if you in Help Wanted, he
in the
did.
Games,
yeah. I guess like he doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. That's fine. But it would have been funny if he was just a random guy in the background. He's like out of focus.
Yeah. And speaking of people in the background or just in the movie, the cameos.
Oh my god, the cameos.
The cameos were insane.
Okay. Well, I'll start with Corey, just because he was in the trailer, so we already knew about that one.
Yeah.
That one, people in our theater were going nuts for Corey. That was probably like one of the bigger reactions.
Oh yeah, they exploded.
Oh yeah.
Exploded when Corey showed up. And yeah, he had the scene in the taxi with Abby and Golden Freddy.
Yeah.
And then
he also got a scene like as an end credit scene.
A little short one,
yeah,
a little small one.
It's not at the very end. It's like kind of a mid credit scene, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the one that hit us the most.
Oh yeah. It was Matt Pat
from the Game Theorist,
Mr. Game Theory.
Yeah, that was Oh my
I
God.
was so surprised because he was really good. He had not said a single thing about this. I think he actually like threw us off the trail, because I think in one GT Live video, I don't know which one it was, God, but he was like, yeah, I wasn't invited to, be in the movie or anything. I'm not cool enough. Yeah. He literally lied. I'm offended. I will find you, Matt Pat.
I didn't hear a thing about him being in it at all. No leak, no cameo.
I know, there was nothing. Yeah. And it was so cool. It's like, oh my god. I think it's really cool that he's there.
No, it's amazing.
It's for sure.
He's important to...
He is. Whether you like it or not. He is very important to FNAF.
Yeah, we are big fans of him. Yeah.
I've said it in my FNAF video that I really like and respect him, even if I don't agree with all of his theories, especially like the recent ones. Yeah. But I would still love to meet him and talk about FNAF with him, just because I think that'd be really cool and fun.
Yeah. Same for Markiplier. I know you've mentioned him in previous videos. And I mean, yeah, he couldn't be in this film for...
because he was filming Iron Lung.
Yeah, which is his own film, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll show up in
future sequels.
Yes, if they make those, which I hope they do.
I think they're going to. This is, like, already a pretty big success. Financially.
Yeah. And, yeah, critically, I don't think it'll matter
No.
I think if the fans love it, which everyone so far I think does, it just came out today at this time of recording. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, when MatPat came on, our theater also went pretty nuts. I think they went more nuts for Corey, but they were still pretty nuts and people were talking. So we didn't really hear what Matt said, but apparently he might have said, "I have a theory." As we watched like a Screen Crush video going over the Easter eggs, I think he might have said it. I don't actually know.
I don't remember. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, it was hard to hear.
Our theater was literally like exploding.
Oh yeah. But hopefully he did, because that's funny. But also his name tag said Ness, which I just think is really funny. I had no idea that's what it said.
Yeah, if you know him, then you'll understand.
Yeah, you get it. I talked about it in my Undertale video, the whole Ness and Sansa's Ness thing.
Oh.
It's so good.
Yeah. That's
such a good Easter, like a little thing that I wonder if he put that in himself.
I didn't even get that at first.
Really, I did.
Well, I mean, after you said what it was from.
Oh yeah.
But like when you first, I was like, what?
I immediately when the video was like, oh, it says Ness, I'm like, oh my god, that's so funny. I knew immediately.
Yeah, and then, also there was like so many like little like Easter eggs and small things in the background that you would have to watch multiple times to catch.
Yeah. I mean,
it's crazy.
You noticed the names or the words on the chalkboard.
Yeah, chalkboard, some board in the background where it said some of the names from characters from the games.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
And like some other stuff too, I think.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention, even though I probably should have been.
Yeah. Or like some like little design things in the background for some of the sets.
Yeah. Oh god, the Sparky thing.
Oh, the Sparky thing was crazy. That's a crazy Easter egg.
That was so cool, though.
I know.
At first, it just started off with the restaurant, which is the restaurant that MatPat worked in, which I thought was funny enough. Like, oh, it's called Sparky. That's cool. But then they actually had a Sparky animatronic in the back.
Whoever made that hoax back then, I wonder how they feel.
I know that'd be really crazy. Do you think they had to get permission from that person to put that in the movie?
Maybe. I mean,
I don't know if they don't own the character.
Yeah, I don't know if they even made like a full design. Like, was it a full design or was it just like a little?
I mean, the person that made that specific hoax, I think it was just quite literally that little sliver.
Yeah, but speaking of asking for permission and having fan things in this film.
Oh my god, guys. This is like the craziest one. They had the quintessential FNAF song. It was in the credits at the end. Everyone went nuts.
Literally. And if you don't know what we're talking about,
then get out.
you should know the Five Nights at Freddy's one song.
Right, the one from the Living Tombstone.
From the Living Tombstone was the credit song.
I was losing my shit.
Was the first credit song. Legit, everyone in the theater went bananas. Legit, went so wild. I went wild. Like,
it's like, oh god.
Literally. Like,
because, like, I think I had maybe seen on Twitter, like, people talking about, like, oh, it might be in the movie. I'm like, ooh, maybe. But I still wasn't, like, fully expecting it to be there, because I'm like, it probably might not be, because it's, like, I don't know how that stuff works to get, like, the rights to put that in the credits. But they had it. It's there. Oh, and I was like, oh my god.
That's what I thought for months. Like, even like before the movie was.
Oh, we mentioned that like a long time ago. We've thought about this. I think Scott Cawthon owes us rights. Actually, he owes us.
He owes us. He needs to pay us.
He needs to pay us. Because we had that idea like many years ago. Like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if they had the song in the credits?
Yeah, but which I'm sure other people.
I'm sure other people have, but like I still feel like he owes us rights because we have collective memory of saying it while playing Minecraft. I was just so pleasantly surprised that they put that in there. I was like, we won! Yes!
I know.
I was actually going insane. Okay, great. Thanks for joining. Get out. Bye. Okay, so there are a few other things I wanted to talk about in relation to the movie. Namely, that I was right. Let's go. I made a prediction and I was right. Woo! I mean, I was like kind of right, but I still feel like I deserve something. Okay, so if you remember in my last video about my predictions for the FNAF movie, I said that I thought Vanessa was going to be an antagonist that was working alongside William, and then who eventually became attached to Mike and Abby before eventually turning on William, and that's why she was choked out and why she ended up in the hospital. And honestly, I think I hit it pretty much right on the mark. Obviously, there was a little bit more depth to it than that because Vanessa is William's daughter in the movies, which I honestly was not expecting literally at all. But still, besides that one fact, which honestly, like, I couldn't have really predicted that. I was expecting Mike to be William's son like it is in the games, but it wasn't like that, which is fine for the record. But everything else, I was pretty spot on. Now, Vanessa isn't necessarily working for William, like, because she wants to, more so out of obligation because, again, she's his daughter. But, I mean, I still feel like it counts. As for my other predictions, was I right? Not necessarily. I was not right on like the mall thing or the Aunt Jane thing, which is fine. I don't really care. I'm just glad to have seen the movie. Obviously, it's cool that I was mostly right on the Vanessa thing, but the other ones, I'm not a theorist by any means, so I don't really care that I didn't get it right. Okay, so I do want to address a common complaint that I've seen. Actually, I guess 2 common complaints. One, that this movie isn't really scary, and that's not really a horror movie. And this is something that I agree with. And I'm pretty easily scared. I'm a wimp. So for me to say that it's not scary is saying quite a bit, I think. Although I do want to say I think the jump scares and the way that the animatronics were handled in the movie was done very well. I keep going back in my mind to how Max, the babysitter, was by getting f***ing bitten in half by Freddy. What the f***? It wasn't really scary. It was shocking, though, for sure. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. But yeah, I wouldn't call it scary by any means. Again, it's more so thrilling and shocking rather than scary or horrifying. Which I think is kind of a shame because the first FNAF game, at least in my mind, is probably the scariest one out of all of them. It just has such a quiet ambience to it, and everything in the atmosphere just enhances it. You know, it really just gives off that haunted feeling in the first game, which is something that I don't think really any other FNAF game replicates. Now, a common complaint that I've seen in relation to the FNAF movie not being scary enough is that it needed to be more like FNAF VHS and it needed to have more gore in it, which no disrespect to anyone who makes FNAF VHS content out there. People like Baddington and Spectre have done some great work and they definitely deserve your time and attention. So absolutely no disrespect to them at all. But people that put up that sort of content on this high pedestal and expect FNAF to follow it, no! FNAF has never been especially gory. The most gore you ever see in like any of the games is like the eyeballs popping out of the Freddy suit in the first game in the game over screen, and the other one being, I guess, just Springtrap's design in general, which literally you see organs and flesh. But FNAF has never been that, and people expect for it to be that because of FNAF VHS content. Look, I think gore has its place in storytelling and in movies for sure. I just don't necessarily think it needs to be in FNAF. FNAF has never needed gore to be scary. It was scary enough on its own without that. The other complaint I saw was that this movie is not a good introduction for people that have never heard of Five Nights at Freddy's. And this is something I also agree with. So, I'm gonna be real, I am a huge FNAF fan, and that's the perspective I went into this movie with. So it's hard for me to really say whether or not a non-FNAF fan would really enjoy this movie, because, you know, I am a FNAF fan. So I obviously understand the movie a lot better. But I think it is fair to say, from what I've seen on YouTube, people that have reviewed the movie so far, that aren't FNAF fans, they don't really get it as much. I think you definitely need to be a fan to enjoy and understand this movie, which is not an inherently bad thing. I know that they went into this movie with the mindset of it being mainly for the fans, which is fine, but I think that they definitely should have included more stuff to help newer people understand this whole series. A lot of people that are going to see FNAF are people that like scary movies or that like Blumhouse or have kids that are huge fans of FNAF or people that are going to see it with their friends that are huge fans of FNAF. You know what I mean, just the regular, average, everyday Joe who has no idea what FNAF is. Maybe a few of them have heard it in passing, but other than that, they have heard basically nothing about it. Again, this is from my perspective of someone that's been around since like the beginning of this franchise, so I don't know the actual perspective of someone that's not a FNAF fan, but this is just going off what I've seen people talk about online and stuff like that. I think there definitely are things they don't go into enough depth about for that audience. I just think that if they wanted to get more people to look into Five Nights at Freddy's games and the books and so on and so forth, then this is probably not the best way to do it, because you kind of need to be a fan to understand a lot of like things that are happening, not just the references and everything. That obviously only fans are going to get certain things. But even the story itself, it's not like the most confusing thing in the world or anything, but I think they definitely should have gone more in depth with the characters and the story, and especially the animatronics and the ghost kids and their stuff as well. I'm not saying I wanted to be just wholly lore and world building. Obviously they want to focus on Vanessa and Mike and Abby and Jane and whoever else was in that movie. That's obviously where the focus should be, on those characters. But I think you know what I mean. I don't want them to just go bullet point by bullet point establishing what the hell the lore is. Obviously that's not going to work for a movie, but they definitely should have just explained things better. And I think that's all I have to say about the FNAF movie. There's probably stuff I'm missing, but I honestly don't have the brain capacity to remember or think more than I have. So was the FNAF movie the best movie of all time? No. Was it the worst movie of all time? Also no. It was pretty good, I'd say, like a 6.5 out of 10 maybe, if I had to put it on a scale. But I had a shitload of fun watching it because I am a huge FNAF fan. And maybe that's just me, but I mean, again, it wasn't perfect, but I had a whole lot of fun. Anyways, if you're a huge FNAF fan like I am, definitely go see this movie in theaters or go see it on Peacock. Both options are available for you. Go enjoy the movie. It's finally out after 8.5 years of waiting, and I couldn't be more glad. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congrats! This video is coming out way later than I wanted it to. I wanted it to come out, I think, originally a few days after the movie originally released, but I was kind of busy that weekend, so I was like, okay, I can release it a week later, and then I was incredibly busy the rest of this week. And then I was busy this past week, so it's coming out almost 3 whole weeks after the fact. I'm very good at this, but I'm still very glad to have this out there, even if it is late. You know, better late than never. Just to clarify a few things, when I say the movie was a 6.5, I mean that in the sense of it being an actual movie, and like in reality is a 6.5, but for me as a FNAF fan, it's a 1000 out of like 1. Also, a thank you to my cousin for recording with me for this video. I'm very glad we got to record like basically our initial reactions. Anyways, yeah, I don't want to ramble for too much longer. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. Also, I'd like to apologize again for the audio issues. When I was recording by myself, I was having audio issues. I don't know what was going on there. But when I was recording with my cousin, I just had a bit of a different setup, which is why it sounds a bit different. And yeah, thanks again. And I'll hopefully see you sometime soon. Okay, bye.